This is a 1970 Datsun 510, and this one is in mint condition. It looks so darn good. Nevertheless, we have done this car for the drag tune today. As you can see, we have got an intercooler outside the car because we don't have any space inside of the hood. Reason being is because we actually did a engine conversion. So as I mentioned in my previous videos, I don't really like to do it at first. I only like to do engine conversion videos when it is being requested from viewers. So if you would like to see a different engine conversion in this car or whatsoever, let me know in the comments below. I'll have that video out for you within a week. Nevertheless, the engine we have in here today is very similar to a 2JZ motor. Instead, it's a 3.2 liters, not a 3 liter, and it's an inline 6 big turbo engine. So let's talk about the Datsun 510 as being stock standard. This car originally comes with a 1.6 liter engine. It is a Hitachi downdraft carbureted motor. Also inline, it's an inline 4 1.6 liter. Nevertheless, let's quickly jump to upgrades and tuning. Let me show you guys what I've done to the car. So here for the engine conversion, as you guys can see, we got a 3.2 liter, and it's not making anywhere nearly as much power as the 2JZ. I think in this game the 2JZ makes about 1,600 horsepower, which is about 1,100 and something, almost 1,200 kilowatts. So this one is like even halfway, it's not even halfway there. Nevertheless, we got a 2 liter inline 4 over here, 2.6 liter inline 6 twin turbo, and that can also be pretty good. And we also have got a turbo rally motor. Nevertheless, we went with the 3.2 liter. For the drivetrain, we kept it at rear wheel drive. The aspiration is a single big turbo, and obviously we installed a body kit. So we saved 6 kilograms of not having it, but I mean that looks pretty cool. So if you want to beat me in my own tune, just stay with the normal stock body. Let's quickly run over the engine. So for the engine, we have basically installed everything to race. Let's quickly rush through it. There's the valves, the camshafts, exhaust, and over here you guys can see it was a 3.2 liter, but now it's a 3.6 liter. For the pistons, it's race pistons, race turbo, race flywheel, and here for the oil cooler, this is the only one we didn't upgrade. As you guys can see, it only gives 7 kilowatt, but it adds, how much is that? 3, 4, 14, yeah, 14 kilograms for 7 kilowatt. Look, that is not too bad. That is something that anyone can consider. I think I'm just gonna take it nevertheless. And then we have the race intercooler. Going over the platform and handling, for the brakes, we've got Max, we got rally springs installed, race anti-roll bars for the front and the rear. We don't have a roll cage because this just adds a bunch of weight. And for the weight reduction, we have got the race weight installed. Let's see, this car weighs 961 kilograms. Going over to the drivetrain, we've got the race clutch, we have got the 6-speed race transmission, we've got the race driveline and the race diff. Going over the tires, for the tires we obviously have got drag tire compound, we have got the mini biscuits in the front, and at the rear we have the big brothers. What? It's not installed? What do you mean? Hopefully I can push the car a little bit more now. And then for the mags, obviously you can install any mag, just make sure it is the lightest mag. For the rim size, we didn't adjust it at all because this just adds to a bunch of weight. For the aerodynamics, we didn't install anything. I mean, you can if you want to, but I just decided not to. Wait, let's see this one. This one should add, oh yes, you're gonna do that. See, now we're actually saving a little bit on weight. Also here, I can take it off. It's gonna obviously be a little bit less on weight, but it just looks better. Like, I'm all about saving some weight and also just looking pretty good. So we're just gonna stay over here. Okay, so let's quickly go over the tune that we have got on this car. So for the tire pressure, you'll see the rear one is at its minimum. The lower the tire pressure is, the more grip it actually gives you. Obviously, this is drag tires. It works with drag tires. Please don't try this in real life. Because the tire is flatter, it adds to more drag, and more drag actually gives you more grip. So when I'm talking about drag, I'm not talking about drag racing, I'm talking about the physics drag. Nevertheless, the front tire pressure is at max because there's no power going to the front wheels. By having it fully pumped up, this is going to give us better top end stability, and at the same time it's going to equal to less drag, which is going to obviously give us better times. So here is the gearing. What we technically did here was, after we did the transmission, is we just made all the gears longer. This car loves a bit of a longer gear. It doesn't like to shift too much, and here it is. You guys can take a screenshot or whatsoever. Do know that I'm going to be sharing the share code in the comments or in the description. You can just go quickly there, have a look, and get it if you don't want to do all of this work. Nevertheless, for the camber, because once again there's no power going to the front wheels, we have angled it at a 5 degrees positive camber. Reason for this is just because there is no power going there. We don't care about grip. We want literally as little tire on the road as possible. The less tires on the road, the better it is, because there's going to be less drag or less contact to actually slow down the car. So for the rear, as you guys can see, it's at 1.8 degrees. So what happens is whenever you pull away, the weight from the front of the car is going to go to the back of the car, and it's actually going to like compress the rear suspension, and that's going to make a positive camber into a negative camber, or in this case a 1.8 degree into a close by 0.0 degree. Nevertheless, we have got 0, 0 and 7 degrees. Obviously at high. If you guys do not know how to adjust the camera yourself, I've dropped a card for you guys in the top right corner. You can just go have a look and easily know how to do it yourself. For the anti-roll bars, we have got it at stiff. And for the springs, we have got it at 19.8, which is very soft in the front. And at the rear, we are about halfway. The reason why we're running it a bit softer in the back is that we can just get the rear end to go a little bit more downwards than usual. Because this car doesn't weigh a lot, we gotta actually try to get more of the engine weight to the rear instead of just the body weight. So for the front, we have got the drive height on very low, and for the rear, we have it about halfway. This is so that when we do pull away, the nose is going to lift up, and hopefully the front ride height and the back ride height would equal out. So for the damping, usually what you want to see in a damping is your front and your rear rebound and bump stiffness should be the same, and your rebound rear and your bump stiffness, front stiffness should be the same. As you can see, these are the same, and the front and the rear is not the same. But that doesn't matter, they are very, very close to each other. This doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means that this is a proper weight distribution in this car, and also how the car is normally, like the springs, how it goes in and the ride height. It's got like a bunch of stuff to do with it. Even though it's not the same, it doesn't mean it is wrong. This is still an extremely close setup, and it gives really good times. And also, we're trying to get this car not to wheelie. This car loves to wheelie. So for the aerodynamics, because we do have the body kit on and the rear wing, I had the fortunate but also unfortunate that I could have adjusted the aerodynamic at the back. If you do have it, just take it all the way to the left, such as here at 72, which is more to the speed side. For the brake, here is the brake. I didn't adjust it, but I like to always take down my braking force in the pressure. It just so that the wheels doesn't lock up. This car weighs very low, so very little, so I can actually take the pressure down a little bit more. For the differential, because this car loves to pop wheelies, I actually place the acceleration on 16%. It doesn't mean that whenever we're going to drive, we're only going to get like a 16% acceleration, no. It literally means that whenever you pull away, it's going to just like be 16% before the slip differential, everything hooks up and etc and etc. Everything's going to engage and you will be off at 100%. So there we go. Let's quickly go to the road. So here we are. So I just want to show you guys quickly something. For the differential, I actually adjusted to 70%. As you guys can see here, our 0 to 100 is like 0.200 faster. For whatever reason, if you guys can remember, I forgot to install the bigger tires. Stupid me. But nevertheless, let's quickly go all the way back. So here we are. This car, because it weighs next to nothing, it is rear wheel drive, we have got to heat up the wheels. So what I decided to do is just do a reverse and acceleration pull. It might pop a huge wheelie. Oh gosh, we just messed up our rear end because of that. This car has got such good grip. If we just make a quick turn over here. There we go. Small pull there, we're not spinning, the wheel tires is okay. So let's quickly try this out. What you want to do is you want to launch at 2000 RPMs. If it does accelerate like that, what you're going to do is just go backwards, go forward, and just do launch again. There we go, perfect. So it lands on the same spot, but we can actually use launch control as we wish. Just going to do it again. I think I took too long. Okay, 3000, 4000, but we want 2000. Hopefully my wheels are not too cold now, but let's send it and see. Not too bad. I short shifted first gear a bit. 247. So what I meant by I kind of short shifted the first gear is that you guys saw a wheel spin in the second gear. It was technically what happened was the first gear was just a little bit more short shifted. So as you guys will see here, the first gear can go up to 79. So what you want to do is as soon as you see 70, then you want to shift to second gear. There we go. Second gear hardly span. But that's okay, it's not like the end of the world or whatsoever. So let's quickly go do our drag race. Let's quickly go over the difficulty and settings options. So over here you guys can see traction is off, stability is off, manual with clutch. The only reason why I'm using clutch is so that when we do the normal drives, we can actually use launch control with clutch. But in this mission over here, we can't use launch control, so you can keep it on manual if you wish. Nevertheless, I want to tell you guys quickly, this car is going to spin a lot on the pull away. Reason being is because obviously when we do pull away, we pull away with 2000 RPMs. And in this one over here, we're probably going to pull away at red line. So for the traction problem, if you want a better time, you can put your traction on. Or what you can do is you can actually head over to your tuned car. You can make your first gear longer, put it like on 3.50 or something. Just keep on playing around and you'll get the right one. For the differential, you can just keep dropping it here as well until you get proper traction. I do want to let you guys know that the tune I gave you is technically a baseline tune. This tune is also not specifically for this drag race. The tune I gave you guys was for just the normal open world drag around, playing with your friends and etc. So let's quickly go and send it and see what we get. So what I did was I actually took the difficulty up a bit. That was too easy. And we're away. At first gear, oh, there's a car that tipped. Come on, baby. So, let's quickly see. The first gear was the only gear that spanned all the way. Once we hit second gear, we were off. What a little pocket rocket. That's a 16.610. I think obviously if we adjust all the other things that I've mentioned to you guys to get at first gear just to hook, the car will do so much better. Nevertheless, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for everyone watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did find it informative, educational, interesting, or just entertaining, please do make sure you drop a big like. If you love to support the channel, especially if you're new, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right, and then I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out, everyone.